So I'm back in with my second recording session. Um, in this, my goal is to get a little bit of the basic stuff set up. I'm going to set up my um, road vehicle depot, potentially also my tram depot as well. I'm probably not going to invest the money into laying out a tram line yet, although I am probably going to wind up upgrading to all trams and not actually using the basic road vehicles at all as time goes on. But I will be getting my first initial depots in, and probably also my headquarters, and I'm going to try and get bricks being delivered to both cities. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. So for now, let's go over to here. So first thing we're gonna need. Eventually now let's see how expensive hooking these up a little more directly would be. So that would be like 60 some odd thousand to do that, which yeah, that probably would actually be worth it to cut that huge chunk out of the journey time. And then here, I think I'm just going to, yeah, I'm not going to bother cutting off that little corner, and you kind of have to go in that way for now. And eventually, all of this is going to be replaced with railroad lines anyway. So wait, let's see if I even started the recording. Sorry, guys. Yes, I did. I am not an idiot, contrary to all evidence. Anyway, self-depreciating humor aside, let's get this transport network started. So yeah, for now, I'm just going to be transporting bricks by road, but I am hoping to fairly quickly replace some of this with rail or tram, and then I'm probably going to expand to oil, to refined oil, to plastics, and then I might even try to rush goods because my starting city over here is goods and bricks, and my goal is to get that bulked up pretty big early on. I also am going to be using the sandbox mode stuff to boost the city right from the get-go once I have my base of operations started, but for now I'm not going to do that. I like it to expand around some of my main buildings, and I like to have enough money to do a little bit of town training by the time I'm going to do that. So anyway, so we are going to want to be putting in a truck station over here. And in this early game, I kind of have to play for efficiency rather than beauty in order to get up the money for my bigger stuff, so I am going to put it out here because you don't get too much practical benefit to putting these like right next to the station. The reason that one has two platforms is because it's going to be sending off to two different cities, and I'm going to be just using a drop-off point to drop off the stone. Yeah. And yes, so they're going to be dropping it off on the way out, which is fine. And then now, let's see, so in this city, the bricks are off to this end. So we're going to set off our drop-off there, so that as it expands, it should still catch most of the industry. And then over here, I'm going to be, as soon as I have enough money, doing a bit of town training on my main city, which is currently Petersfield, although if somebody wishes to name it, I would be perfectly fine with giving that privilege out to somebody in the comments, if they have a name I like, that goes for any of the cities, just describe where it is on the map in this orientation. So the southmost, the central one, the main city, the one to the right, one to the left, the one to the top, and the one off on the island, I guess, would be appropriate. I don't know. I'll probably review that so I remember what it is, so I can recognize you guys saying so and saying what those are in the comments. But anyway, so for let's get my first couple of lines in. So the first one is going to be the stone to bricks, and I'm going to try and keep a actually decent naming convention going on the whole time, rather than putting one in towards the end like I frequently do. So the way I do it is if something is, reasonably close to a city, I name that destination after the city, but if something's way out in the middle of nowhere, I just call it isolated. And I use the same basics line type differentiation that I've seen on Skystorm. So this is going to be a road route from isolated quarry to, let's see, so that is to, I'm pretty sure that's braiding. So to, no, isolated, well, let's get out of this. Yep, to braiding. So isolated quarry to braiding brickworks. And then we'll also want to put one in from there to there, and this will be braiding brickworks to braiding. And I realized that this one is accidentally went to, oh no, it's, that's interesting. These guys are actually using the thing as a turnaround, even though they're not going into it, which I don't like. So I'm going to use a trick I've found that makes pleasant looking turnarounds, which is to put a short section of the widest road in, and they will use that to make U-turns that don't look completely stupid. And you can put a just ridiculously tiny section of road in, and it still works fine. So hopefully they are going to go there without my telling them to, and they are. Although they're turning around in the middle, which doesn't look as good. But when I do it with trams, they are forced to stick to the outside, and I think I will actually, depending on how expensive it is, put in a waypoint. No, it's like $2,000. I'm not going to bother with that, but still, they will use that to turn around. I could have just used a smaller one, and in fact, if it will give me a refund, I think I will downgrade it. Nope, it costs additional money. So no, I will not be doing that. Although, actually no, I can get a refund that way. So yeah, we're going to just put in a little bitty one and get at least some of our money back. Because if they're going to use the middle and make a stupidly tight U-turn anyway, we may as well only give them enough room to do that. So yeah. Anyway, so let's go back into, I'm not going to put in the long line yet. I'll just put in the drop-off station. But so back in the main city, just to make things a little easier for me to lay out my main network, I'm actually going to remove and replace this section in straighter. So I'm going to start off using the slightly bigger road, just doing a little bit of future proofing. I'm going to snap it to straight with bridge. So there. And then, yeah, let's do a shorter section so that I can get it a little less lumpy vertically. And at this stage of the game, doing those little tiny adjustments in order to try and cut costs can be worth it sometimes. But obviously not this time. And I'll just leave that little kink in the road. Having some of that stuff in will add a bit of character to the city later on, although I will try and prevent just stupid connections. But like that is a bit of a stupid connection, but I don't have the money to change it right now. But anyway, for now I have this here. I think I'm gonna put my my harbor probably there, either there or there. Actually, no, I think my goods yard is going to expand out into most of this area because I like to have a fairly large rail yard. I'm probably going to bring my station out along there, maybe. So I think I'm going to want to be putting my my depots down out the back here. And let's see, it's the straight road tool. And then, yeah, for now I'm just going to put in what I need. So as time goes on, I'm going to be putting my tram depot either next to or across from this, and I'm going to be putting my yeah, because this is a terminus, I can actually put my rail depot in here too, either crossing the road or on the other side of it maybe. So somewhere integrated into this main station complex. Then I think I'm going to have my goods yard with this switching fanning out from there and going up along this road, taking up a pretty big area, because I'm probably going to be doing at least a certain amount of centralizing with delivering to the goods yard and then leaving. And then I'm going to have my large passenger terminal in there. And then my harbor up here. And I'm probably also going to have a decent sized road exchange around here somewhere. But for now, I just need to get that in. So we're going to buy some vehicles, and since I'm doing the 1850 start, I don't really have any particularly good vehicles. Let's see. Yeah, I find that for the very first vehicles, the Asian one actually is a little better because it has most of the same stats, but it's slightly lighter, which means that it'll get up to speed a little faster. Not much, but it does make it a little more. And I find that in general, the Asian vehicles tend to be a little more weight and space efficient. And I think I'm going to start off with, let's grab like 20 for the stone line, and I'm going to color these a stony looking color. So let's go with that, the dark gray. I'm going to be using the lighter gray for steel, probably. Maybe even a darker gray than that, yeah. And then these guys are going to go on to the isolated quarry to braiding brickworks. And then I'm going to get another, like, let's start off with 5 maybe. It really doesn't matter. And all of these will work. And I will color these a nice brick red, which, let's see how that looks. It doesn't actually color most of the wagon, so it really doesn't matter too much. Then I'll put them on that one. And then for now, you know, I actually do have a lot of money left over, so I think I might set up the other line coming back now rather than waiting. So let's start another line from there back into here. And this line is going to be road line, creating brickworks to I need to check. Petersfield is what it's currently called. And I will go in and update these if you guys give me a new name for it. To Petersfield. So, yeah. And then I'm going to put, say, because this is a real long haul, I think I'm going to put like 10 onto that for now. So, or maybe even like 15. Yeah, let's put 15 of those guys onto the Braiding Brickworks to Petersfield. And then, so yeah, so my company's going to start losing a lot of money while these guys make their way across the map, which I guess is a bit of an expense that I don't have to do, but I like to just to preserve my playstyle a bit more. And another odd quirk of my playstyle is I try to not dispose of vehicles any more than I really have to. So, especially with rail vehicles, I don't really apply this rule so much to the horses and carriages because it makes sense that you couldn't just continue restoring those because the horses will eventually die. But with the later vehicles, and especially most of my Steam vehicles, I try to not actually sell them. So, like, when they're... I'll usually wind up reusing the engines. Like, older engines that are too slow, I will bring back into the depot and then put them out on a shorter shunting line. And otherwise, I'll just wind up double heading them and sending them back out. Because one of the quirks of this game is that the way the vehicles price themselves, the only real thing that you benefit from for having newer engines is speed. And so on shorter lines where you'll never get up to speed, or if you can, but in the case of a lot of the modded engines I have are intended to be passenger engines, so they have a high speed earlier on. And by using those engines, you actually don't have to replace them at all. And I think that, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this bridge in, because, I mean, it's a kind of cool bridge, but it's also kind of pointless because there's already a land bridge here, but AIs do strange and interesting things. I think I'm going to leave it. We'll say, story-wise, that, oh, somebody's calling me. Just a minute. I guess we will be stopping this part here for now. Okay, so yeah, one of my friends called. It is now done. I currently do not have a actual, recording studio or good editing capabilities. So if I'm lucky, I'll be able to string these two things together into one video. If not, because of that, this video will actually be in two parts, because I'm currently completely incompetent at YouTube. Anyway, so, my trucks have gotten that unexpected chance to disperse and get onto their lines, so let's go see how they're doing. And as you can see, I've already hit negative account balance because, they cost me money all the way going over here. But as you can see, they're doing pretty good. And pretty soon I should start making money instead of losing it, as this game is balanced so that, barring, stupid management, any vehicle can profit. So, yeah. I'm gonna take these guys and paint them all a nice, lovely brick red. Just the one. But anyway, yeah. So, the main thing we can do right now is just wait for them to disperse a little bit. But in fact, I think I'm going to go through and manually tell a lot of these guys to just get out of there. Because they really don't much need to be sitting around waiting. And now that that backlog's been cleared of it, and in order to prevent that in the future, I think I might, oh no, never mind, negative account balance. But that's because I got rid of as much of my starting loan as I could, so that during this time where we're effectively just waiting for the vehicles to start actually making a bit of a profit, I wouldn't be losing money to loan interest as well as everything else. So, anyway, these guys should continue to disperse themselves, and I seriously doubt that I overestimated the rate. Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to be taking out a chunk of loan so I can extend this by a little bit, because I have a feeling this is going to be overfilling a decent amount, at least in this early game. And it's very worthwhile to have that little bit of extra in case, and at least until those guys get themselves a bit more spaced out. So, yeah, anyway. Let's see. So, Braiding actually hasn't gotten any of their bricks shipped in yet, because these early vehicles are, like, stupidly slow. But these guys are now gathering up their bricks and spacing themselves out, which means they're all jammed up back there. And let's see. And how is this guy doing? So, consumers. So he's currently shipping 35 to Braiding and only 17 to our main city of Petersfield, which should be fine since the Petersfield line is so stupidly long that even with 3 times as many vehicles, it should still have the lower rate. And if I have to, I'll transfer some vehicles from one line to the other. And the production is still continuing to go up as the stone line gets properly in. Let's see, what's the rate like on each line, just out of curiosity. Yeah. So, the Braiding line currently has a rate of, yeah, I'm probably going to wind up taking a decent few vehicles off the 2 delivery lines and putting them in. Oh, no, that is the correct one. That's, yeah, let's change these colors, the line colors, to match the vehicle colors. So, and you two are both going to be the orangey brick color. So yeah, I try and color my lines based on the primary thing they're delivering, or at least my vehicles. And in this game, I'm going to try and color my lines the same way. And yeah, passengers are the only ones that I don't color the thing based on what it's shipping, and I like to color all my passenger lines a like aqua color, just from personal preference. But anyway, so those guys currently have 156. We'll eventually want to get them up to 400. These guys currently are shipping 27, and if I can catch one of, oh wait, I can just go in through here. And these guys are currently shipping at a rate of only 20. So yeah, this should be fine. And these guys are now, yep. So all my lines are currently under shipping, but at this stage of the game, that's fine, because so long as they aren't over shipping, they will stay fully profitable. The only issue with under shipping is that you don't get these leveled up, but if all of your lines are under shipping, then that's fine. I do think, though, that, let's see, what was the rate on these guys? Yeah, it's 156. I do think that I'll actually just, although, yeah, I do think that I will, for now, just straight up double this line, because that'll still, oh, not enough money, okay, now let's try doubling, or, like, giving it half again as much, maybe. There we go. So yeah, it'll do that. So that'll get me up to a decently higher rate there, because Corey's just... Oh, but that's right, he can only ship 100 until this guy gets leveled up a bit more, so we actually didn't want to do that. Now, but what we can do is go into here, and we will grab those 10, and we will transfer them to there, and then we'll grab, say, another 5, and transfer them onto that one. And that should get this to get its transport up to level it up fairly soon. And let's see, so let's go into the line manager. So yeah, this should do pretty good, because right now this guy only needs to ship 100 to cover the demands of that, and between the two of those, that's almost 100. We'll probably need to do a bit more balancing in a little bit, but we'll want to see. So the braiding one should be 70, and the other should be 29. So let's transfer one of the vehicles here to that one. Actually, let's transfer another. And that should put us at just about perfect. So, yeah, we'll let it fast forward for a bit until these guys are stabilized. And while I still have some positive money, we will put those in. So yeah, there's really not that much to do until these guys start, as it may be becoming a bit more profitable. You can see 2 of them already are. And that one, the main reason it's not profitable is because it's just so long that the vehicles aren't getting there quickly enough. So, anyway, let's cut these vehicles, make sure that they're all the right color. Yeah, and even when some of the various steam-powered vehicles start showing up, I'm actually not going to bother using them for the deliveries into towns, because they're actually so much noisier that it actually stunts town growth. And until you get some vehicles with a decent capacity, it's actually not enough benefit really to be worthwhile. So anyway, let's go into our finances and see how we are doing. So let's stand this and see. So as you can see here, our maintenance, our infrastructure maintenance, and our loan interest are the main things that are hitting us. But in 1853, if it weren't for paying for vehicles and stuff, we actually would have made a profit, because you can see here. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's my brain being stupid. But anyway, so yeah, but so you can see here that, like, in 1852, we were actually just in terms of vehicles profitable, and even just in terms of the road stuff profitable. And now that we've got the lines balanced out, it should be the same for this coming year. But we'll have to see how it goes. And it also doesn't help that right now all of the vehicles for the Piersfield line are over at this end, and we only make money when they're at the other end. But we also do get a pretty big payday for that. So let's come over here and see if we can catch one going in. So there, that guy is going to be dropping his off. And what do we get? Maybe he was... Oh, apparently these guys are empty. Yeah. But those guys just haven't gotten a chance to actually get a load yet. So let's see. What about you? Yes, you have bricks. So we're going to follow this guy in. And let's actually get a bit of a nicer view. Here, we'll come look from behind in a tracking view like this. So anyway, we're going to follow this guy into the city and around. And one of the the graphics in this game really are like super nice. Like I'm actually running on the lowest graphics settings because my graphics card isn't too great, but it's still just awesome even without a lot of the more interesting effects like tall grass and stuff. But anyway, so just look at the city buildings. Even with the stuttering, laggy graphics, those things are just awesome. But anyway, we're now getting into the industrial section, and we should be dropping the bricks off fairly soon at the stop. These guys are going around the end of the road to turn around, which is, I guess, fine. We'll be setting up something a bit better for this at some point here, but for now this is good. Yeah, like 17,000 each time those guys drop a bit off. So that's a lot. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, so right now in the line breakdown, those guys are losing a decent amount of money, but now that they're starting to get to this end, we should see that number tick up a bit. Yeah, in general, for long distance lines, additional speed is very good, but for short distance lines, you're actually better off just using the slow stuff. So, let's go back up here. Let's see, how's the Brickworks doing? Yeah, the Brickworks has leveled up once already. So we might want to start putting a bit more into, let's see, that's the braiding line, I believe. So yeah, we'll probably want to put a few more vehicles on there. So let's do like 3 more, or I might have the money for that. Yep. So yeah, those 3 will be sent out from down the other end. And as you can see, we are now profitable. So yeah, we now officially have positive earnings for this year. And if we let it run on for a bit, we should be making more money. So yeah, until we have enough to actually start putting in some more stuff, I am going to leave you guys there. Yeah, I think that I'm going to try and be continuously running the date for most of this, but for this initial stage, I do think that I will pause the date. So yeah. So I'm going to, so the date is now paused, and I'm going to stop this for now and see if I can figure out how to actually edit these 2 pieces together into a video, and then when I've recorded the 3rd part, I will hopefully be able to edit that in as well. So yeah, bye. Okay, so it is now the next day. I didn't let it run all night, but I let it run for a few hours. The only thing I've really done is I've added a few more vehicles to all 3 lines. I figured you guys wouldn't mind the fairly boring process of me just duplicating a few vehicles. So as you can see, we've now got a decent amount in the bank. So I'm going to be running the date on quarter speed for hopefully the entire rest of the time. And yeah, that should give us the ability to make significant progress before the vehicles overtake us and everything becomes way too expensive. So I think that the first thing I'm going to try and do now is I'm either going to set up, well, either way, I'm going to be starting on some of my railroad stuff. So I think I'm going to come up here and start on setting up my goods yard transfer area. So I said there's going to be railroad track coming in through that little land bridge area, which I might have to extend a little bit because that probably isn't enough to get a full double track. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely not enough to get anything through. So, but anyway, I am going to extend that a little bit, just enough to put a double track through, and then I'm going to be building a, or at least the start of a large cargo rail yard here, and it's going to transition into a road section back here. So yeah, let's see, so we'll want to grab this tool here to select a level and then place that, and we'll be coming along down there. So yeah, this will probably push the water back enough for at least a track. Let's see. Yeah. Nope. It's also complaining about the slope for some reason. There we go. So let's see. There we go. So yes, that'll be the first track, and then once I've extended the land by a little more, I can add in a second one, and then I'll smooth it back out. Although doing that should help to smooth it as well. But yeah, so I'm going to have a similar little connection on the other side that's going to be bringing in my passenger line. And then this is going to have to spread out quite a lot to encompass a full goods yard. So in order to get the most out of it, I think I'm going to do a little bit of laying out with the track, and then actually place the initial center of my station a bit further over, because that lets you spread the station to both sides, which allows you to have a larger station in the end. So yeah, so let's see that. So those two will have to be platform, and then a track, and then the other half of that track, and then most of these are going to be platforms where only one side will be given. So, but I'm going to have a few that are going to be for outgoing traffic that will have, because one of the mods I have, it allows you to utilize more of a platform. So I'll have some of them that'll have either a entire platform module or even multiple stacked up that it can utilize. So like this track here is going to be an outgoing track. I think I might have two outgoings right here on the edge, and then no, actually I'd need an odd number, so but yeah, so I doubt I'll have too many more than like 3 outgoing, but well, actually I think I'll have the other ones on the other side. So we'll have platform outgoing track here, drop off, and then the platform for those two, and then drop off, and then the 2 bits of the platform, and then that'll be another drop off track. And so let's go into buildings, and we'll place in a terminus, although we'll actually be pretty promptly getting rid of the actual building itself. And yeah, we'll need to get rid of those. So yeah. So now then, this will be the base of our first station. So we're going to get rid of that building right away. And then, yeah, we're just going to be placing in the beginnings of each platform now. Yeah. And I'm only going to actually extend the platforms once I need them. And yeah, so just for the purpose of hooking up my road transfer yards, I'm going to be extending this down as far as I intend to take it. So that's only 4. We're probably going to want a lot more than that. So yeah, I think we're going to be taking this all the way down into the city a little bit, which means we might wind up putting our road transfer yard across the street, which is fine. Six. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And then I will be putting in these little steps all along that'll, or at least as many as I can, that'll let it hook up into the road. So yeah, apparently it doesn't like putting those middle ones in. I'm guessing the slope from the station up to the road is a bit too much. Yeah, you can see the road is sloping up, but the station is staying level, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just it means that we don't get to put in as many of the little sets of steps. I missed the one on the very end. And I haven't experimented with this stuff yet. But I do have it in here. So let's see. Let's put in the this brick wall along here. It'll make the I think it'll make the shear slope a little. I mean, it makes it even more sheer, but it looks a little more intentional and a little less like a game glitch. Yeah, we've got like a little alleyway back there, I guess. But anyway, so this is going to be the initial cargo station. And let's see. I think we're actually going to take these back a little bit further. And then we will at first just hook it up into here. But yeah, so I'm going to be hooking these up the whole way along. At some point I'm going to be adding in additional tracks further over, but for now, as this is all I really am going to need, and you'll see I'm going to need to extend the land just a little bit more to even get this in nicely. I think it'll all be worth it. This really is about the best place to put in this sort of a big transfer yards. Oh, not quite enough. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna have this big rail section, and then I'm also going to have a largish road station, whatever you want to call it. And between the two, that'll take care of most of our transferring needs. I think I'm going to try and do the road station initially as tram so that I don't have to go back and do it later. Actually, I think I'm going to redo this section here. I like to be able to use fairly efficient double slip switches for these sorts of things. I've actually gotten pretty good at getting them to go in so that they don't kill speed too much. So what I do, if the game will quit being stupid, there we go. What I do is I start by putting in a fairly quick, although in this case, since it's a goods yard, I'm not too worried, but I start by putting in a fairly quick double slip switch. And then what I do is first I take that off and then put it back in, going as far up as I can. And this speeds it up a little bit. And then I do the same sort of thing on the other side. And let's take this back a bit, or all the way back as the case may be. And this should help improve the speed on this double slip switch at least a bit. Yeah, and if you like, and this is a fairly chunky one for me, especially on the passenger lines. I managed to get a lot better, but if we go into the track speed layer, you can see that even with this, oh wait, I need to actually go in and tell it to be a double slip switch before you can see. So even with this, yeah, I've gotten it up to like 40 some, which for exiting and entering a station, especially at this stage of the game, is pretty darn good, even on a regular switch, much less on a double slip. So anyway, I'm gonna have to redo that as well to go into the double slip. But yeah, I've actually managed to get double slip switches that were over 100 kilometers an hour on both sides, which is really difficult, but I've managed to do it. And I find that they look a lot nicer and work a bit better than doing conventional crossovers. Just a bit cleaner. Anyway, that should do for the cargo yard. I said, you can see in a cargo yard, you're not going to get very quick off the switches, and as in this early game, we're limited to 50 kilometers an hour anyway. It really doesn't much matter. But anyway, that's all I'm going to do for this for now. I'm going to be putting in some more tracks and some buildings and stuff as time goes on, but for now, this is going to be it. And then so I'm going to be putting in my passenger station here. And I think I'm actually going to be putting the train depot in on the other side of this road along with my other two depots. And let's get the tram depot in now while we're thinking about it and have the money. And so, yeah, we've got the road depot there. And I'm going to get this as close as I can, although it's not going to let me put it in too close. But just because of the angles there. But if I put it back from the road a little bit, it lets me. And let's see if I can fit in the train one. It might be too long. In fact, it probably is. But it's worth a shot. Yeah, it's just a little bit too long, unfortunately. Let's see. Is that actually a main connection? Because, yeah, my vehicles there are using it. I think they put that in recently. But, I think I will, yeah, I do have the money for it. I will, knock this back a little bit and use a trick to cut this off short without taking the whole thing out. Hey, you. No, 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 no. So, anyway, and they'll probably actually build off of that little spur there. Yeah, just like that. And this will give me the room I need to put this in and a bit to spare. And then I will start to build the station off of this track once I get it in. There we go. So yeah, I don't know, let's take that out and we'll place it back in once we have the line going through. But yeah, I kind of like having all my depots in a row for some reason. I feel it looks cool. Still just a smidge close, but you should be able to get it in without it looking too bad. Yep, there we go. Then I think I'm going to turn the curvature on and hook that in there, and then I think I'm going to get my headquarters there if it'll fit. If not, I'll put it in here. So let's see. Headquarters built. Oh, we're already level 4. Nice. Yeah, there's no way it's going to fit there, but I can put it in nicely. Oh, thank you for building that road exactly where I didn't want it. There. And now they probably will still wind up hooking something up through there, but it'll have to curve a little bit to miss my headquarters, which is fine by me. And now that this is hooked up, my truck, well, not trucks yet, my horse and carts can come up through here. Let's actually see. Yeah, that's actually a very nice route for their line too. I like that. And I think that well, for now it doesn't matter, but at some point I'm going to be upgrading that whole loop to make them go through a bit faster. So anyway, so for now I am going to put in the start of that station. But I'm actually going to be deleting back most of it. So we're going to start with this bit. And as I said, I'm going to be extending these off to both sides, but for now I'm going to be actually deleting back basically all of this. Just a minute, somebody is calling, so I will have to step away for a moment. Sorry about that. So anyway, back to here. So I said I'm going to be ripping out most of this station, so I'm not paying maintenance on it, but I am going to be using the station track coming out. I think I'm only going to go up to like there. I think the inner track's going to wind up being a little longer, but this one needs to be a bit short to fit in there. And let's put the track in. Yep, we are going to need to extend it on that side too, which is fine. But there we go. Yeah, I think I am going to try and keep my passenger and freight lines separated for most of this playthrough, just for convenience sake, but I am going to be trying to do the single depot thing. And I need to extend the land a little bit there too. You know, I do wish that you could set it so that when it tried to build land on water, that it would just fill it in. Like if it'll automatically do regular embankments and terraforming, why can't you set it to automatically do water terraforming? But anyway, so yes, so oh wait, yeah, I was gonna do the double thing, and as I said, I don't think I'm gonna bother making this double slip super quick, just simply because I said it's coming out of the station. It doesn't need to be that quick, but I do think I am still going to do the whole double slip thing. But for now, I'm not actually going to put in the doubles. Oh, I meant to hit cancel. I'm not actually going to put in the double slip, as all I really need is that bit so I can connect over to my depot track. And I'm going to try and keep some fairly quick track speeds early on, even though I don't really need to. Just makes it a bit easier for future proofing. I doubt I'm going to be able to. Oh no, I can make it through this side of that coal mine and still keep up quick speeds. Okay, so then I will. And then I'm going to wind this track all the way up to the brickworks. And then once I do that, I can put everything from the Petersfield brick line onto the other two to amp up production even further. And I'll be putting a nice little train on here. It's definitely going to wind up upgraded at some point, but for now I'll just be putting one of my little engines on it. And then that engine will probably wind up becoming my depot engine. I like to keep a single train in the depot to let me mess about with like transferring cars and stuff, but it doesn't let you have a engineless train even in the depot. So I have to eventually get one of my older small engines and just leave them permanently in the depot to do that transferring. And I don't think I'm going to bother to double track this or anything yet, because I'm only going to have the one train, but I'm making sure to leave space either side so I can add more tracks if I need to. So anyway, let's see if it'll actually hook up just putting it straight onto the main road, or if I'm going to have to actually take it across that road. Yeah, it will. So I'm actually going to lay it in here, and then put a little connecting bit in. Or let's see. Oh, actually, no. I think I will have to either. No. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to swap out for a different building on the end, which should hopefully connect it sideways. Yeah, I found that it's a little easier to connect things up using the very smallest cargo building than with the medium-sized one. Yeah, there. And it also looked kind of nice just running straight off the end of the station there. So anyway, let's bring this dude back a bit. And yeah, I really should pause it while I'm doing this kind of work, because if you don't let it run too long, you actually can get a partial refund on anything you have to take out. But anyway, that's that bit in, and we're going to want to smooth out some of those embankments there a bit. And at the moment, we're hooked up to the left track there, which is fine. And I will take this across the roads there, and we'll be going into here, which will give us depot access. Yes, and I can still go in and configure that to add my actual tracks and platforms and stuff. So anyway, let's get us a train. We've still got 6 million, which for these real early trains is way more than enough. So as you can see, I've got a lot of options already, even in 1850. So these three are the regular ones. This is one. Let's get out of it so I can actually show you a little closer. But this is one of the added ones I have, and it actually has a decent top speed. This is one of the ones I was talking about that's intended as passenger, but I use them for everything just because they last so long. But I can also put in like one of these guys, and at this point I don't think any of them go more than 50. Oh no, okay, so yeah, we have the we have 3 that go 50, and then we have this 060 tender engine that can do 64. But I don't think we've gotten the oh no, never mind. These are available right from the start. So yeah, I'll actually be doing a train with one of the Jenny Lin's, because I can go straight to an 80-mile-an-hour train. And I believe these two variants are with and without the weatherboard, I think, and I believe that the one with lower emissions is the one with the weatherboard, I believe. But anyway, they're the same price, so I'll grab the one that has the lower emissions, whichever that one is. And since this is going to be on a bricks line, we're going to color them all the same bricks color. And then we're going to go down and grab the generic British open wagon. And for things like bricks and other loads that would naturally be on pallets, I tend to go with either the 1 plank or the 3 plank. I like the 3 plank. I'd like it if this mod creator would add some side staked looking cars to this. I think that it would enhance it a lot, but we do have the 1 plank wagons, which are effectively just flat cars, the 3 planks, which have shallow sides, then the 4 and 5 planks, which are your traditional open wagons, and then we have the goods vans there. So I use the 3 planks for a lot of this kind of stuff, the 5 planks and the covereds, but I use the others a little bit just to mix things up a bit. So yeah, that should, actually that's probably way more than enough. We'll only go for 5 to begin with. And I have a mod that puts in brake vans. You really don't need them. All they do is add weight to the train, but I feel that it looks a lot better. And I tend to not color the brake vans. So yeah, that'll be our first train here. So now then, and we still have, you know, a decent amount of money, so we might just go ahead and add in another freight line. And actually, I could probably put in a station here and have these guys do the stone delivery too on their way down. Anyway, so let's go into here and chuck you onto that line. And let's get out of that. And let's see our nice little engine coming in. So yeah, the Jenny Lind is one of those old big wheeled engines, and I don't know, they're pretty cool. I like old engines in general. These guys are actually one of the earliest standard type engines that were produced, like mass produced, not just made a few of, because they wound up being really good engines. So yeah, we've got our Jenny Lind and a few cars in our nice brick red. And as you can see, they're already up to like 70 miles an hour, or kilometers an hour, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to train myself to use, like proper measurement units, but being American, I've grown up with, all of the miles per hour and other oddball things. But anyway, yeah, and the good thing about this train, I mean, 80 miles per hour isn't great, but I like to keep most of my engines above the 96 limit of these wagons here. But even with only 80, that's more than enough for a lot of the short shunts I like to do. And so I will never have to fully replace this engine. But anyway, now that it's in, I'm going to swap Brickworks to Peterfield. I'm going to take these vehicles and I'm going to see, we've got 26, so I'm going to grab like the first 10. Yeah, I'm going to grab the first 10 and I'm going to chuck these guys onto that one, and I'm going to chuck the rest onto the quarry line, and then I'm actually going to go in and delete that line entirely, which should transfer the goods over to the train, or make it so that it is only shipping by train. Let's see, make sure that this guy is still, yeah, he's shipping like 25 to Petersfield. But anyway, the additional stuff there should help it keep up a bit more now. And yeah, and I do think that I am going to go ahead and add in that other station, like right here. So let's see. And we're going to want this station to be a bit longer, but I think I'm going to put the building a lot more slewed. So to start with, I am going to just leave it at the 80 meters, so I can put it in like over here, and hopefully get it to hook up just like that, exactly like that. And I'm going to configure it and make it a bit longer going down there. And that's as far as I'm going to be able to get, which is more than enough. And then we'll extend the platform to match, make it nice. There we go. And then now we just need to hook in either end, and that'll be our first train line in. And let's try and give it a fairly long switch. Actually, if I can get it up above 96 so that it'll still be good when I upgrade that train, that'll be even better. And then just pop you in, and above 96 again, and that should be long enough. So anyway, let's hey you, come here train. There we go. So manage the line, and in between and after Petersfield, you're going to go through there. Yeah, when I double track it, it'll actually need a crossover there. But anyway, and now we've got that, let's grab these vehicles and just chuck all of them onto the braiding bricks delivery guy. and then get rid of the line. Because then I'm probably going to wind up selling off most of these vehicles now, but yeah, I'm going to need to sell off a lot of those vehicles, which is, if anything, a fairly good thing. Yeah, we've got like 60 of them. Yeah, let's sell off maybe like 20. Yeah, 20 sound, or about 20. Let's bring it down to 40 vehicles. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. From there to the end. There we go. And I'm going to sell all of those guys rather than sending them to the depot. Usually I would just send them to the depot, but I'm going to be trying to switch off of basic road freight fairly early on. Yeah, I think that's still even way too much, but anyway. Oh, yeah, I think we might also need to up the train a little bit. We'll have to see if it picks up everything here on its way back. If it doesn't, we're going to need to up the capacity on that a lot. Let's see, it's coming right now. So yeah, let's see how it does. And it's probably going to be putting the platform containers in here rather than loading up regular, although it might. I'm not sure how the 3 planks do with like stone and ores. But now that I'm doing this, any additional wagons I add are probably going to be 4 or 5 plank. Yeah, because that does look kind of silly. So I'm going to be adding 4 or 5 plank wagons for the rest of it, but I'm not going to take these off. And that'll also lead to a more interesting and varied looking train. And let's see, and I don't think it did come even close. Yeah, no, it's going to need a lot more. So I'm going to add like another 5 or 10 wagons. So let's go down here. And you're going to grab the 5 plank and add 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to leave these guys uncolored for now. Yeah, double capacity. And I'm also going to flip him around once he gets past that station there. Yeah, I think we're probably actually going to need even more than this, but yeah, we might actually want to have this guy just shuttling stone and then an even smaller one bringing the bricks back. Not sure. Well, if we're going to have a different one just shuttling stone, I think it's going to be with one of the even smaller engines, and we'll want a second platform over here to accept it. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think once I've done that, I'm going to be wrapping it up for this episode. So yeah. There you go. Yeah. Now let's take that back a little further so that this kink in the track isn't going to hurt speeds too much. I mean, so long as it doesn't hurt speeds, having the tracks doing funky things like that occasionally is not really a bad thing in my book. I mean, it shows that, this was not a line that was all built in one go. But anyway, I think we're going to take line 1 and we're going to take the quarry off of that line, and then we're going to buy another train that's going to be using that 060 tender engine guy from the generic early British engines. And yeah, we're going to be grabbing one of these guys in a nice stony color. And then we're going to be, yeah, this guy still is over 50, so we are going to grab some of these and we're going to transfer some more over from the other train. Ooh, I need to take out a loan to get this guy. So it should all be worth it. Wait, I didn't want that colored. A new line. Yeah, from there to there. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to change the terminal so that they'll run parallel like that. And that way nobody's tangling up on each other. And we'll do that, and then we'll actually grab both of these lines and modify, and we'll chuck those. And I think we'll actually even take a couple of these because he doesn't seem to actually be carrying that much with each load. So yeah. Did I get? Nope, I didn't want to do that. So I'll do this again. There we go. And that'll be that. And so now this guy should do a pretty decent job at bringing the stone from the quarry to the brickworks. And the other guy should still have enough to haul the bricks back to Petersburg. We'll give it a little bit of time to stabilize and see how well this setup actually works, because if it winds up, losing us tons and tons of money. Oh, I'm going to need to check in a couple of signals, apparently. Because he doesn't want to go over the switch while the other guy's in the area, so we'll chuck a signal in there and a signal in there, and that should make them happy. Well, let's go ahead and flip you around to get whatever additional bricks have built up while you've been sitting there wondering what to do. Which is actually apparently not any, so yeah. We'll flip you back the other way. Yeah, part of me really doesn't like how many trains flip over backwards like that. I wish there were a way to force all trains to reverse, but a lot of trains aren't even allowed to be reversed at all, even if you do set it up to. So, but unfortunately, that's one of those things that you just kind of have to deal with. But, yeah. Anyway, I think I will leave you guys for just a little bit with a cab ride type thing, I think we will put you guys actually in the cab, and then I'll turn the game sounds up a little bit. There you go. You guys can sit in the tender with these two guys, and I think I will leave this run a little bit, and then we will check and wow. Anyway, once I've turned the game sounds up for you a little bit, hopefully they'll come through on the recording software. Let's just max it. Yeah, hopefully these are coming through on the recording. I know they are coming out of my headphones, but I honestly don't know if the recording software is currently set up to pick up the actual game noises while it records. So you might just have a silent and pretty terrible cab ride, but whatever. Anyway, I will leave you with this for a little bit, and hopefully when I come back in like 5-10 minutes, the lines have actually been being profitable. Bye. So I just realized what part of my problem here is. I forgot to set up the short shuttle line to take the bricks from the transfer yard into the regular area. But it still apparently has been profitable, which is surprising. Well, I guess it's mostly that stone line there that's actually making profit. But anyway, once I get this set up and this guy is actually, bringing a full load of 21 bricks every time, it probably will be properly profitable. So yeah, let's see. I think I'm gonna, that's a bit tight. Yeah, my road transfer yards tend to be pretty big. I might actually do this one in 2 sections. So I think I'm gonna at least put the first bit in there. So let's see. Hopefully, actually, let's see if I can fit 2 on each side in here at all. No, not quite. Wait, yes. Might have to readjust that road before I make it bigger, but let's see if I can. Yeah, so I can't extend that one there on the end without readjusting that road. But at some point I will go in and well, readjust the road. But for now, I'm just going to chuck in these 3. Come on, you. Okay, I'm just going to take this out, and it should automatically put one back in once I've put a road in and then put it back. It should automatically make it be correct. And as you can see, so this connects up to that and some of this, but most of the industrial stuff actually doesn't. So it'll connect to this though, and he will deliver up to there, which will connect to the rest of the industrial. So yeah, that's at least the plan. Why do you not want to connect? Now let's try seeing if you'll do. You will do that. You won't do that, but you will do that. Which that actually, let's see if I can just do it this way. Yeah, so yeah, he's gonna let me do that, which is probably good enough. So yeah, but for some reason it just does not want to put. No, actually, let's see. Now that I've got those 2 side ones, then maybe it will let me put a 2-way there. And nope, just it's not like putting one of those in the middle for some reason. Okay, that's fine, I suppose. So actually, first things first, let's upgrade it to tram so we can better see what it's actually doing. So yeah, so yeah, I do need an in there pretty badly. I wonder if it would let me put an in there. Nope, it won't let me put both of them in there. So yeah, so they will have to exit out there, which is going to be a bit. No, I'm not gonna let it do this. I'm gonna make it give me that 2-way piece, even if it is gonna be a bloody pain about it. So now you let me, of course. Anyway, but I am going to go ahead though and put in that extra. Oh, now it won't let me do that. Now I will force it to, because this is my depot and I make the rules, darn it. And I am going to go ahead and put these in with tram track. And I'm actually going to upgrade to having tram track along here. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and upgrade the size of the road along there. Let's see. Where do I want my trams to turn around? I think I'm going to go ahead and just have them turn around in there. Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, so now I'm going to make a new line from there to there, and that'll do for the transfer. And then I'm going to chuck some trams on it. Oh, I don't have any cargo trams yet. Fudge. Well then, I'm going to chuck some trucks on it. As soon as I get a cargo tram, though. Yeah, we'll start with like 3. That should be more than enough. And then, yeah, as soon as I start getting steam trams, I'll be able to get the cargo variant on it. Yeah, one of the steam trams has a cargo variant in the cargo trams mod. I don't use that one in cities too often, but I do like it for like little runs like that. I'll sometimes do with the trams. But anyway, let's see. So yeah, that guy's handling his loads pretty well. He's just about spot on the rate, actually. Let's see. Yeah, he's got a rate of 321, and he's currently shipping 300 out of 400. So yeah, this section might upgrade again if, okay, so yeah, it needs to up the demand in both the cities. So yeah, let's see. These guys are, yeah, getting 95 of 95. And what about these guys? 14 of 47. So hopefully adding in that little route there with the increase, I mean, it still doesn't quite get all the way to the end there, but still, it's a little bit better. And we should be shipping more like 20 or 30 over to here now, with any luck. So let's come up here and see. So consumers. So yeah, it's now shipping 44 to Petersfield, which at some point here, once I get the stations the rest of the way in, and I'm prepared to start doing a little bit of town training, I am going to go ahead and up the size on Petersfield. And in fact, I think we're actually stable enough in our earnings that I can afford to at least outline the stations. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put in, I'm not going to put in the middles, but I'm going to put in all the edges, which I find is a good way to mostly put in a station so that, oops, who's giving me an error? I think, yeah, this is a glitch that happens sometimes, so, or, no, Come on, tell me the error. Could not connect whilst, I'm betting it did a funky terminal thing. Yeah, it decided to swap the terminal down there for some reason. So we're going to put you there. So you're actually coming in now. Now, because it doesn't need to pull all the way into a station. It just needs to pull in just enough. Although I am going to extend one of these all the way down for it at some point here. But anyway. So I really would rather not have to go back in and deal with the buildings having encroached on my station once I up the size of the city. So it's better to try and get at least most of the station in to begin with. And then, yeah. So, and I also probably will wind up putting in a second goods yard like up here at an angle, but that'll be when I'm a more established transport company and can afford to, level half the city to get what I want. Anyway, yeah, that ought to be good for now. So I'm going to take this platform all the way up so that they can't encroach on my station. And then I'm going to put in the tracks and stuff to close it up here. And then I'm just going to leave that center bit wide open for now, or at least most of it. Because as I said, you don't really need to actually place in there, and this will keep the buildings out, but it'll save me the cash and the upkeep on all that middle stuff for now. I'm going to do the same for this, since it is so much smaller, I might actually be forced to anyway. So we're actually not going to be using that track itself. That's going to be just for depot access. So those two are actually going to be passenger tracks. So yeah. And let's see, so since I believe there are only 7 cities on even a dense small map, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wait, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, we have 7 cities, so we only need to have 6 connections here. So I'm actually going to be doubling up these, making use of that increased station capacity mod I have, and it'll give us a grander station, even though we don't really need that much capacity. I don't want one of the blank ones. But yeah, this will actually be all 6 tracks just done right off the bat. Oh, it's not going to let me put a platform there, is it? No, that's annoying. Okay, I guess I'm not going to be able to do the doubled up stuff for all of these. Wait, I don't care. But, so yeah, I guess I'm only going to be able to double up that middle one, which I guess is fine. But anyway, so yeah, and then I'll be sticking some nice passenger buildings on the side there. Yeah, and I've got some various fancy stuff from my mods as well. I can't quite put in one of these dudes. Not really anywhere. I like these because they have actual proper clock towers. The other bigger ones have towers, but the clocks are actually on the face of the building, which I find very annoying. Anyway, I'm probably going to be using mostly medium-sized buildings for this station. Let's see, can I squeeze a large in? Nope. So yeah, it's going to be medium buildings. At least on this side. I'll probably do like one of those, maybe stick in. Yeah, let's do a medium, a couple of, no, I'm actually going to go straight back down to small for the rest of this. So I'm going to do like a couple of small side buildings, and I'm going to stick in a couple of small main buildings to get in those nice clock towers. And I'm going to put in a couple of small side buildings again to just balance it out. Yeah, that's a pretty nice grand station. And I also have in my miscellaneous stuff this cool fancy roof. So I'm not going to use that for the whole station. I'm going to probably use it for like the back 2/3 maybe. And I think I'm going to also be extending some of those tracks up a little. But for now, I'm just going to place that in there. That gives a bit of an interesting effect. It gets a little bit bigger each time, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm going to put it in for this much of the station, and then I'm just going to chuck in some regular canopy for this part. And then when I extend it, I'm not even going to bother putting anything. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and extend it now. And then I also have a slightly slimmer platform that I might be able to squeeze in just there. It's intended for like small halts and stuff. Let's see, is that the right? Well, let's see. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is put in the platform and then put in the track, because the platform collisions when you're trying to put it in, but doesn't collision when you're putting the track along beside it. So let's, I believe I want narrow opposite green. Nope, just regular narrow green. So yeah, and that'll give me a little bit, that'll let the platform go all the way up, but won't actually seriously restrict. And I think I'll go ahead and take that back a little bit, and then I'll connect it up to the very far side, and then I'll put a and then I'll start putting in the actual switching like that. I think we're gonna have to put in that one first, and then maybe see if I can manage to squeeze the other in. I'll put this out as far as I can before it starts collisioning. And then let's see if I can manage to squeeze you in. Yes, I can. So yeah, there we go. And then these guys, let's see. Ooh, actually not going to be able to get that bit in anyway, so I'll just go ahead and get rid of those guys. Yeah, and because of the mod, this actually will still use that platform, even though it's a not the actual station track in here. I'm going to see if I can't. This actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little funky bit in here, which should, yeah, let me squeeze through there like that. And, I mean, it looks a bit odd, but trains will be able to still pass each other there. It just doesn't look as nice. Because yeah, that's giving me a too much curvature thing, so I'm gonna actually take that back and put it in the other way. Like that. Ooh, I have to extend that out a bit then. But anyway, yeah. I can actually just do that, which actually I think looks a little bit nicer. And then I'll feather these two in. And I'll go ahead and put in the crossovers this way with these guys. And by putting in a couple of double slips, it'll actually let the trains cross over there. And since it is so close to the station, it really doesn't matter too much. And then I'm just going to put in another little bit going over like that. Different, just using different switching styles on different parts of the line gives a nice effect. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, now anyone coming in can get into any of the various stations, and anyone going out can get out, except for there because it didn't actually connect for some reason. That's fine, I can go ahead and put it in now. So yeah, and then that should be the station setup basically done. Yeah, we'll be we'll be adjusting this road to, and actually I think I'll go ahead and straighten it out now before anybody else builds on it. Then we'll go ahead and put in the extra bits here. And so that guy can't extend, but I think, nope, neither of those can. So yeah, that's going to be the limit on that. And with any luck, by turning on straight mode, yeah, it should let me just do that. Boom. And I'm going to be putting in a like bus type transfer station in there probably. Now let's see if it'll fit. And we're just going to have one on each side. And let's see, does it squeeze in at all? Yes. Although I can't really put trams in that because they look stupid when you only have one section. You really do need to have a 30-meter platform to make trams look good. So I think I'll go ahead and do it here. And then now when I do start to put in like passengers or yeah, like passenger routes and stuff, I should be all set and ready for it. Because I can, need to want to do that one curved. But yeah, because now I can transfer from both my cargo station and my main station into the town. Okay, so let's see. Oh, good, it didn't actually stop the recording, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, sorry for those technical difficulties, whatever you may have seen there, because my power plug came just barely undone, and when it does that, my laptop battery rapidly dies because Transport Fever 2 eats battery life for breakfast. So yeah, fun. But I'm gonna go ahead and chuck in a couple more streets that I think will work out well as the city expands. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one, and I'm gonna put a street going all the way down up into there. I'm gonna try and only take out one of these buildings. And actually, I'm gonna downgrade that to only be the skinny street. Because, I mean, I probably, actually no, because I am going to want to be able to run a tram back there, but I'm going to do a loop at the end. It's the skinny street. So I'm going to take this out to here. And then I'm going to bring it into a three-way intersection here with the skinny street. So, there we go. And this guy will form like a little teardrop thing here at the end of this peninsula. And then we'll have hopefully, if I get it to work out nicely, houses built around and inside this little loop here, and my passenger trams will wind up going around it and having a stop like there. So yeah, and this should give the city plenty of room to expand. And now I'm going to go ahead and increase the city size on here. As I like to have my default city size on my main city pretty big. I don't fiddle with the actual goods that it wants, or the actual cargo it wants, because there's an actual thing called goods, so I try not to call anything else goods. But I try not to fiddle with what the city actually is demanding, but I do, as it boost up the size. And this is actually going to be kind of interesting because it's absolutely going to have to expand into every little corner of this island for it to work out at all. So yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that down to the point, and I'm going to have another road. I'm not actually going to connect it to anything yet, but I'm going to run it out to the point there. And I'm going to let them go ahead and connect that up themselves. Or actually, no, I'll just take it up into there. But yeah, and the city should automatically expand into most of the stuff. But like places like those, as those little peninsulas, it doesn't usually like to do nicely. So I'm going to, yeah, I can thread that through there with the small road and take it down to the point. Yeah, and doing stuff like this should help the city expand just a little bit easier. And that would probably actually, no, actually no. If I come up precisely through there, I might actually gain a little bit more building space than I lose from putting roads in. And it'll probably wind up connecting up that way, although I can lock it so it doesn't. Yeah, because this city is going to have to be, it's gonna have to be pretty darn space efficient, just simply because it is stuck on this, peninsula with really no way of expanding off of it effectively. I mean, it probably will actually wind up claiming that bridge, and it might actually eventually creep all the way out here and like blossom up in this area. Part of me hopes it does, part of me hopes it doesn't, because if it, I'm gonna have to make absolutely certain no residential winds up in this area, because it's going to get real noisy, especially once the shipyard goes in somewhere over here. But anyway, I think that's going to be everything. So yeah, we're making a nice tidy profit. We've got a couple of nice little train lines in. Let's see. So let's see how he's doing in terms of keeping the platform clear. Yeah, I think he might actually need he's gonna need another car or another truck, which is perfectly fine. So I think I'm going to make this one a different style, because I said I like having sort of mixed trains. So I think I'm going to put in maybe one of the one planks, the real flat ones. So yeah. Oh, I did add a 3 plank again. Oh well, that's fine. Yeah, he's bringing nice loads of bricks back with him. Actually, I think I'm going to need to add in another one. And it looks like they're actually filling these up the same way that like the ores and stuff do. So I'm going to go ahead and put in one of the big tall ones too. There. Anyway, that ought to do it. And I think I will go ahead and leave you there with this nice image of the two trains pulling off into the distance. Or him into the not so distance. Whatever. Anyway, bye.